All right, everyone, we are here at the Mind and Body Lounge podcast, and my guest today is once again Joy Kramer. Joy's Hope Cancer Journey on Facebook. If you are following her, if you are not, please join her page. She is a phenomenal advocate of the cancer journey, no matter what type of cancer you are dealing with. She's actually going through it with you, and she's a supporter, an advocate, and somebody who can have that conversation firsthand. Please welcome Joy Kramer to the conversation.
Thank you so much,
Hi,
Tracy. It's good to
Joy.
see you again.
Oh my gosh, it looks fantastic wherever you are, the palm trees and the sunshine. I've got a fire going behind me, so I can appreciate the weather you're experiencing.
I'm here in Cathedral City.
Oh,
It's
fab.
it's it's right by Palm Springs. I'm literally 5 minutes from celebrities.
Oh,
I wouldn't
great.
know them if I saw them. I don't really belong here, but we got lucky enough and people have helped us to get us to this beautiful, wonderful vacation we've been having.
Joy, you belong there.
Thank you.
Honestly, the journey that you have been on and the help and the assistance you give people, you enjoy every minute of it. I do want to backpedal a little bit because this isn't our first conversation. And for those who have not joined in the conversation with us in previously, I want to just share a little bit of our journey together and how we had met, because I think it's very important, especially in the conversations you're having, to understand the power behind social media, the power behind connecting and networking and the support that is there. I mean, I'm not dealing with what you're dealing with, but I find so much support from strangers online than I do in people within my circle sometimes. And that's
Mhm.
not to downplay, the people in my life, but sometimes it takes one to know one, and people need to understand. And if they're not coming from the same place, they can't really give the advice from that place that you need them to give the advice. So our journey began just on a networking site, and you intrigued me, and your positivity and the amount of time you spent connecting with people and engaging with people was absolutely stunning to me. And so that's how we connected. And it was probably sometime around, I think we said November, right? I mean, it was sometime
Yeah,
around
that's right when I
November.
started. Yeah.
Yeah, and about the time where I had begun my networking attempts as well. And since then, we've had a few conversations, and I've watched you really take off in the arena of uh, advocating and helping and assisting and just being out there, letting everyone know they're not alone. So if you wouldn't mind, let's go back to your journey. Let's how did this happen? Where did you come from? What type of cancer? Let's share some of this.
So I have colon cancer. It was discovered in December 2023. Guys, you got to advocate for yourself because I had been sick since June or July. And unfortunately, they have cancer. Nobody, I thought I was imagining this, yet I was in such pain, such stomach pain, stomach cramps, that June or July, I had periods of vomiting and nausea. I continued one trip that I was with my family in Massachusetts. I went off to Vermont to stay with my parents, and I kept telling them I wanted to go to the hospital, but we didn't have insurance. It felt, I kept telling my mother, it feels like I'm pregnant. I'm nauseous. There's something moving in my stomach. I said, it's impossible that I'm pregnant. I'm just not. And my stomach was growling crazy noises. I lay down. I stayed up all night. By 6 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't take the pain anymore. I went to my parents. My father's a different kind of a doctor. I said, Daddy, I can't take this anymore. Please help me. I said, I need to vomit. I did. I went to the bathroom. I said, maybe I have COVID. Maybe you should stay away from me. No, my mother came to help me. And it sort of subsided after that episode. And I said, I don't think I need 911 anymore. And over the week, I started feeling better. I still felt these kicks in my stomach, but I managed the trip the best that I can. I couldn't go home. I was taking the kids to the beach. I was taking the kids to an amusement park. How could I spoil their summer? So
Right.
I went home. I went from doctor to doctor to doctor. I went to have a scan done. Nobody suggested colonoscopy. My scan sat unread in the hospital for 10 days. Nobody saw results. Nobody told me anything. I went to a
Mm.
different hospital, and the ER nurse at first thought it was not the ER nurse, the ER doctor thought it was like an IB or something. That's what I thought. I had some kind of stomach
Sure.
issue. Hours later, I went for another CT scan, I believe. My memory's foggy. All that I remember after that is being with my mother. My husband wasn't there yet. The doctor comes in, the surgeon actually comes in, and she says, I'm sorry, you have colon cancer. We believe it's colon cancer, and you're totally blocked. You need emergency surgery.
Oh
So I
my
called my
God.
husband up, and I had surgery within a couple of hours. I don't remember much more, except she came back the next day and she said, confirming it was a tumor. I said, how long do I have to live? And she wouldn't tell me that. And I looked at her, am I going to be here tomorrow? Am I going to be here next week? She said, yes. Am I going to be here next month? I don't know. And it was December. At that point, it was around December 3rd because it was my son's birthday. I wasn't there for his birthday. He came to visit me at the hospital. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't give his birthday online. But when we finally, when the results were sent into pathology,
Right.
it's now around December 20th. Well, that's when people start taking breaks, December 20th, December
Right. So
22nd.
short of staff and
Right. The
yeah.
hospital was closed for 2 weeks. We
Oh my
wouldn't
gosh.
hear we wouldn't hear back from pathology till January. We sat that Christmas break not knowing my cancer had spread, not knowing what was going on, not knowing when I was starting chemo, and had my doctor's appointment at some point, went to see the surgeon, and I had a panic attack in her office. I'm prone to panic attacks. You'll hear about that some other time. We could do a whole podcast on that.
Okay.
And I found out at some point after that that it had already spread to my lung because we caught it too late.
Right.
And because
Well, months
being
have
on
passed at this point.
months have passed, I was in
Yes.
terrible pain for months, and I was under 50. Nobody suggested a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
So they should be offered. I know that in the States that they're offered a 45 sometimes,
Yes.
or if
Yes.
you have
Yes.
a
It
history of
does
it.
change. Right. Yep. Yep. It does
We
change.
have a history. We believe that my great grandfather had colon cancer, but it was a secret back then. It was called the Big C.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was a big embarrassment to your family if you had cancer. So they're not sure if it was colon cancer, but they think so now. And I just went for genetic testing. And 1 hour ago, I get the call from genetic testing to make an appointment. I'm like, do I need this now? She wanted to make an appointment today. And I'm like, I'm on vacation. I don't want to hear the news. But it
Right.
took me 2 years to get my genetic testing started. 2 years I had to
This
wait.
is amazing. Really an amazing story. And I know, Joy, I've heard this story from you firsthand before, and it still stuns me every time I hear it. It's absolutely and I think the more important aspect is, I mean, this is very unfortunate for you, but the more important aspect is you are not the only person this has happened to. This
Right.
happens.
It's much
This,
younger now. I've heard so many
yes,
stories of young people getting
yes,
colon cancer.
right, right.
So,
And I feel like there doesn't necessarily have to be a family history to get checked. I think
right.
that if we all become a little bit more active in our self-care, we might have the chance to skate around some of the disruption and the
But I'm a
dis-easement.
vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for 40 years. I've recently become a pescatarian. I've never touched a cigarette in my life. I live a very healthy lifestyle. I don't really work out except for swim in the pool, but how is it that such a healthy person could develop this?
Exactly. Right. Right.
Oh, Harris is here. Should she come on for 2 minutes before
Oh,
we
I would
continue
love
to
to have
talk?
Harris here. Absolutely.
Okay, she's just going to pop in for 1 minute. Hi, Harris. Hi, Mom. Here, take it where you're comfortable. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you.
Hi, Harris. How's this fun in the sun?
It's been amazing. It's been a dream vacation so far.
I believe it. You see, I don't know if you can see the behind me, but I've got well, it's going out now, but I have a little bit of a fire going. So I told your mom, what a contrast. I have a fire going and you're enjoying the palm trees and it's great.
Yeah, it's way different.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, so give us a little bit of an update. Talk about what we have going on here, and then you can get back to your good time.
So basically, I just wanted to give like another shout out to our website. So I
Yes.
think since our last podcast, um, there's been a lot more stuff that we've added. We've added personalized content. We've added like dog accessories. Like it's like
Bracelets,
we've added jewelry, bracelets.
video
We've
cards, phone.
added video cards. We've added custom poems. So
Oh
you
my
can
gosh,
get
I was going to ask you about the
yeah.
poetry. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, so my mom, we put together like an example on there, so you can read one of her poems. It's one of her best ones yet. So you can
What
really,
did you put up there?
I don't know, it's whatever you had added.
My best poem was just posted online yesterday, and I didn't get that great feedback. I'm
Oh,
surprised.
well, we'll make sure that people see it. The algorithms online are so if somebody can figure them out, please send me an email and let me know because I cannot. But I think that Joy is an absolute phenomenal a poet, and if anybody is not connected to the work that she does, please seek this site, follow her, find her, follow her, and look at the store. The poetry and what comes from her heart is incredible.
Yeah, there's not many people like her that will act, like you pay, but you really get more than your money's worth in the
Right.
sense that like she could spend hours on a poem and she really puts her heart into like everything that
Yes.
she does.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I've read plenty of them and I've had the opportunity to be mentioned in one of them as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's great. All right. So lots added to the store. Can you give me the information? How do people find the store?
So so we've run into a bit of an issue. We're noticing that a lot of people don't understand when we're saying healing for joy, and I will explain in a second, but there's two healing for joy websites. There's one that is joy and there's one that's this other person that's completely different. So
Oh,
to get to our website, it's www
uh-huh.
dot healing healing for joy. So that's going to be the number four, JOY. So healing
Okay.
for joy with the number four.
I tell people to send pictures of them wearing my shirt.
Yeah, and if anyone buys anything, we have stuff as low as, I think, as low as $20. You can get blanket, and I've seen the blankets. Like I've touched the blankets, I've seen the messages on them. It's really great quality and everything. So if anyone wants to buy anything, it'd be really greatly appreciated. And the shirts,
Send us pictures.
yeah. If
Okay.
anyone buys the shirt, you can send us a picture. That would be great of you
All
wearing it.
right. Well, we'll make a mention when this is posted and we'll add that in as well, just to make sure if people aren't listening or they lose track of exactly where in this recording you mentioned that, we'll also have it in text form so people can read it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. All right. Well, thank you for popping in and nice to see
Rose?
you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It froze. Repeat that
It
one more
did?
time. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm sorry about that. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi and mentioning the store and enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
You could
Sure,
do the
bye.
scavenger hunt with the kids, and I'll be there shortly. Okay, I'm back.
I'm so glad she stopped by to mention everything that's in the store. I think some of those new additions sound really intriguing.
Yeah,
And
and people might not understand that we really do need the help, even though
right,
we look like we're on some, five-star vacation. But honestly, we make very few dollars from each item, and we're giving back to cancer. So
yes,
Harris is in charge of even the funding of it, and she has the money that's set aside that we'll give to cancer research, let's say in three
right,
months or whatever it is.
right. So I do want to touch on this because you are so gracious to have this conversation while you're on vacation. I don't want to take too much time, but I do want to touch upon some pretty important um, pieces of conversation. When we last spoke, the store, you were healthy. The store was just getting up and running. I
I
know
don't think
that.
I had my results yet. I think we were waiting for my
Okay.
scan results.
Okay, so why don't you give us a little bit of an update? And I do want to just make it a point to mention this is this is the type of cancer you have, but you are an ear for everybody. You have joined so many cancer groups. Um, you have really taken on the role of I've been there, I've done this. What can I do to help you? And there are a lot of people who just don't have a support system, and you've become very much a part of their support system. And so for that, I appreciate the fact that I know you because I think you're a wonderful person. But
Thank
when
you.
people hear this next leg of what you've been dealing with since the end of December, beginning of January, since we've last spoken, I want them to understand just how much you are part of their world and understanding firsthand.
So I finished 7 rounds of radiation.
Hmm.
They weren't that bad. They offered some tiredness, and for myself, because I had had one radiation before, it did nothing. This one caused me to be ill for a couple of days. My brother was in from out of town, and I had to be up in bed, unfortunately. So there was a lot of fatigue I found this time,
Okay.
and that was about it. It went well for me, the radiation. I really can't complain. I can't complain about anything really because I suffer pains, but I'm so lucky to be here and my lungs aren't hurting. So I could breathe the air without feeling
Wow.
pain. Yeah, it's
Wow.
only when I
Okay.
laugh, and I've been
Uh-huh.
laughing all week, and I wake up with pressure in my lung. What are you going
Sure.
to do? So
Sure.
I got my scan results the day that I wrote my song. And the doctor came in because I'm an anxious patient, and he was surprised that I was so calm. I had taken some Ativan this time. I was lying on my husband. He walks in the door and he goes, "Great news, you got a clear scan," whatever that means. It wasn't quite a clear scan because apparently I finally got to speak with my radio oncologist. She's the best. She's at a different hospital. It's very confusing in Montreal, and I'm going to be advocating shortly in Montreal. I'm trying to reach out to a man called Ben Mulrooney, who I believe is in support that there are some issues. We've got issues in healthcare and probably in the States as well, right?
Sure.
It's
Right.
a normal thing, but my documents from one hospital to another are not aligned. The doctors have to call and request. They don't know what's going on from one to another
Oh
unless
my.
it's demanded. So I finally spoke to my radio oncologist because she's the one who reads it. She's the one who had ordered the radiation. And
Sure.
she explained that I had had a nodule on the left that they didn't treat that is gone now. So it could possibly be that the chemo shrunk it, or we don't even know if it ever was a tumor. Okay. And then they did radiation on my top right, on my top left. And both of those, the doctor told me it was a clear scan. That's what I understood. Maybe it is a clear scan, but the way she explained it is that they both shrunk, and she used the word inactive.
Oh,
Whatever that means, that made me
okay.
happy. So
Right.
she,
That
so
sounds
so it is
positive.
a clear scan, but she
Sure.
explained it in more detail because she's
Right.
the radio oncologist.
Okay.
So I'm doing well, and I wrote that song,
Yes.
and I'm working on a music video with Harris.
Oh
And
my gosh. Oh, I
I,
love that.
yes, we've been filming a bit in California, and my mind sometimes goes wild. I become
Hmm.
more creative because I had no skills before, and
Right.
I could work on three poems at one time in my head. It's very hard. I've all these ideas spinning, and I was thinking I'm building my fellowship.
Uh-huh.
When my music video comes out, I'm going to be sending emails prior, I mean, messages saying who is going to share this music video.
Right.
And apparently, 100 shares is not enough. Apparently, I need 300 to 500 shares to go viral. So
Oh,
I'm collecting names. And
okay.
if 500 people share my music video on a Monday or
Sure.
a Tuesday,
Sure.
Celine Dion or Oprah or their teams, I may finally be seen.
Right. Well, put my name on the list. I'm happy to
Thank,
share anything you
thank
do.
you.
I'm happy to share. We touched upon your poetry a little bit in the last conversation we had. And again, just now with Harris, because some of your poetry is being utilized in your the items you're selling in your store. But I think that you are so talented. I
Thank you.
absolutely love anything I read. And with that point, you have clarity. You are able to come up with this, the poems and the songs, but you had a time where the brain fog was pretty bad, right? I mean, when you were going through, was it chemo when your brain fog was,
My chemo fog came back now with a
oh, it has.
vengeance.
Okay.
It's really bad. It
Okay.
started about 2 months ago, and it got to the point that I was a few blocks from my house, and I stopped the car for a minute. I didn't know how to go,
Oh my
and
gosh.
to stop driving. But so far, twice, it's like I don't know where I am, and it's
Wow.
terrifying to be driving a car and what do you do even with the GPS? Like I'm right near my house, but I don't know where I am.
Right.
The chemo fog was terrible 2 weeks ago. It seems to have improved while I'm on vacation, but I had a panic attack at Disney. That's a whole other story that would take me hours to talk about. Sorry, there's a plane overhead.
I don't
Just
hear
let
it.
it pass. You can hear it?
I don't.
You don't hear it. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So my chemo fog this week, I've been suffering this week after my panic attack. It's a condition I get now every 6 weeks that I need to discuss with the doctor how to prevent it because there are ways to prevent it. I haven't been taking my Ativan. Maybe if I took my Ativan, I wouldn't have gotten that. And I
Mm.
was very sick that I've needed hydromorphone, which is much stronger than morphine, and it is not working anymore.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I've been suffering. I have terrible headaches, and I tell you, I've slept 11 hours in 4 days now.
Oh,
So,
you're kidding.
yes, sleep deprivation from chemo is a real thing. People need to know it's a real thing, especially when you're going through chemo. I could be up for 36 hours and stare at the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joy, that's terrible. So, is there a plan in place? Is there something that they have a plan to prescribe to give you when you return to
I'm
talk
gonna
about?
I'm gonna go talk to my doctor. I mean, it could partly be my fault because I've never wanted to be on any anxiety medications, so I'm not on meds. I have my Ativans when I feel anxiety coming on, but because of the chemo fog, when I
Right.
started feeling unwell at Disney, and my little son Bryce is saying, "Mommy, why aren't you talking to me?" I was barely able to speak. When I started talking to him, my mouth started like shuddering and shaking. And it's only when I got to the nurse's station that I decided to take an Ativan. So my
Uh-huh.
chemo fog I was forgetting,
Right.
strangers on those cancer groups. I said, what do I do for this nausea? Because nausea has come on real strong. And someone said, try peppermint. So I tried peppermint gum, but I forgot that I have candies and things that my mother bought me. I even
Right.
brought them with me. My brain, I
Yes.
forgot what to do. I
Yeah.
forgot how to help myself, but I've never had such extreme nausea as I've had this week. I was watching dolphins dancing under a sunset, and 5 minutes later I'm vomiting. I mean, it's not fair. It's
It's
just
it's awful. It really is awful. So this is from a round of chemo
back
that
in July. I had
in
my chemo
July.
7 months ago. Maybe it's from the radiation.
Okay.
I don't know what it's from, to be honest
Okay.
with you. But
All
I
right.
want to let people know what drugs I'm on, just, so they
Yes.
understand my story.
Yes, please.
So I had 18 rounds of chemo altogether. I think. I honestly don't know. I think I had 12 rounds of chemo in 2024, and they thought I was okay. And a few days later, I was told I wasn't okay, that there were lung nodules. Again, it was a time off. We had to wait. It always occurs to us at that time.
Sure.
Um, I managed to get myself, I advocated, and I went to the surgeon, okay, on December 22nd or 23rd, just before he was going on holidays.
Uh-huh.
And we sort of, my husband, I feel, had to fight for lung surgery. They wanted to do a biopsy instead of taking out the lung nodules. That's what
Oh,
I understood. So the
okay.
doctors spoke together. My surgeon called my doctor, who's a very good doctor. I love him.
Hmm.
Um, and they agreed they'll take out the nodules. And the surgeon said to my husband, I don't know if we could take out the second nodule. It's so tiny. And my husband said, please take it out. You need to take it out because you
Right.
got to remove them for curative treatment.
Right.
And they took them out. And I went for a scan a few weeks later. This is horrifying. And my mother's in Florida. And my husband was driving me to get my PICC line changed at the nursing station. And we get a call, or whatever it was. We find out then that the nodules are back. I just had painful lung surgery and they're back.
Oh my gosh.
So we're driving in the car to get my PICC line dressing changed. I'm having a panic attack in the car. I'm practically vomiting. The police pull up and they ticket us. Okay. They told us that we turned right when we went straight. My husband's a lawyer. Okay.
Right.
We had to fight. It took him quite a while. They weren't listening. We had to go down to court. I was forced in court. My hair had all had fallen out. I wasn't allowed to leave my hat on. It was so embarrassing. It was the whole thing was horrible. And the lawyer at the trial agreed with him, like, this has to be thrown. It's not true.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we were going
Right.
straight. They decided
Adding
to
insult to
ticket.
injury. My goodness.
They
Right.
ticketed everybody that day. It was
Oh,
not fair. They said we were turning right when we were going straight. I got to the PICC line place. Oh, I'll tell you the story. I was at the place, I think, to remove my stitches from the lung surgery. As I was told that I had new lung nodules, they take out the stitches, and I was having a panic attack in there, and it was very painful, and I just couldn't handle them taking out the stitches. I had to go back the next day to finish it off.
oh my gosh.
And after
Oh
that,
my.
treatment started again. So I
Right.
started another, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, I think I had another 8 rounds of chemotherapy. And followed by that, I had to have one radiation, just one radiation. That was last July. Okay, I had chemo. The next week later, I had radiation. The same day, I went to the spa with my mother. I'm not feeling well, but we're going to go get our nails done and have a good time. We're not going to let this spoil it. And everything was fine. July, August, I was starting to feel better. The doctor told me after the chemo, you're going to start to feel better after 1 month, after 3 months, after 6 months.
Right.
We went to the doctor in November and I had more lung nodules. So I had to start again, and I had 7 rounds of radiation in December.
Oh
And
my gosh.
then I got the all clear. Do
Yeah.
I know what that means? No. In
Right.
2 months, I go for a scan. What am
Right.
I going to be told? So I want to live now. And I want to be, I've seen a person before years ago. I want to live my bucket list of dreams. I have wild ideas. I want to go get my book signed by Oprah. I'm going to make it happen because Oprah's producers called me in 2001. I was almost on their friend show. And I have a new friend, my dear friend Macy. Okay. I met her on a page because she's in love with Celine Dion. She's
Uh-huh.
devoted her life to Celine Dion, this girl. She's much younger than me, and she so happens to be blind. and she manages her page. She's terrific. I can't wait to meet her in
Oh,
Montreal
I'm
one
so
day.
excited about that.
I'm gonna move. I believe
Wow.
we're gonna meet Celine Dion together because Celine Dion changed my life and her life.
Right.
She lives Celine Dion. Her whole life is surrounded. But I'm not like that. I love Celine's music. I love her, but I have a
Sure.
family, and for
Yes.
her, this is
Yes.
her life. And
Right.
she sings, and she's going to be singing my song. She's surprising me,
Oh,
and
Joy, that's
I've
wonderful.
never. I have a new friend, and it doesn't matter our age. It doesn't
Right.
matter.
Right.
We're
Right.
besties now. We
Right. I
talk all
love
night
it. I
long.
love it. I love
It's
it.
really special. Really special.
Joy, on that note, let's take a quick break and we'll come right back. How's that
Sure.
sound?
Sounds good
Okay.
to me.
All right. Terrific.
Bye.